Good morning, everybody. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Podcasting. I'm getting my podcast ready, as you can see here. Today is today Wednesday or Thursday. Today's the 26th. It's amazing. You don't even know. You know you're retired if you don't even know what day it is, right? And today is Wednesday, the 26th. So good morning, everybody. It's rainy skies out there today. I did not get to walk today, which is something that I always enjoy doing, and it gets the exercise going and blood flowing. But so today I decided I'm just going to come in here and do some videos today. Today we'll want to talk about something that I got three stories here, and these three stories are something that is I just want to talk about. I am going to read a story for the first one from a man from Morris. He's from Pennsylvania. I am Morris from Pennsylvania. I met a girl from Iloilo. She is 18 years old when I first met her. She is 19 now, and I am 62. I'll be arriving there in November, and my thought was I would bring my fiance back to the States. I was wondering your opinion about bringing her on the K1, and tell me what you think. I do want to say that I'm not a analyst, I'm not a counselor, I'm not anything. I'm just a guy sitting here on YouTube doing videos. And sometimes people will ask me questions about the relationships and things, and I'll just give them my opinion. And it's only my opinion only, and I am not someone that you can consult for anything other than my personal opinion. What do you think? Would it be a problem for me to bring my girl here in the States? Do you think it would be a problem? I want your honest opinion about this. We met online and we have a lot in common, and I really want to know your thoughts. Uh, I said, well, my reply to him would be sometimes a younger girl, you know her, you know everything about her, you're going to know what she likes and she doesn't like. Until I tell you what, if it was me, I would come here for a while when you arrive here. I would stay with her. Um, I'm not saying necessarily live with her. I'm just saying come here, get to know her, get to know what she's about, get to know her likes, dislikes, get to know who she is first, and then you can make a really informed decision if you want to bring her back to the States. I do know of a couple of relationships that has gone very well with the age gap that you are. You are 62. You think you said yes, and she is 19 now, and so you're recently retired. I would say get to know who she is first. Try to figure out if the family's you're gonna be accepted by the family. Get all the P's and Q's about that. Sometimes I'm not saying this. I'm just going to give you some advice. Sometimes the family will push the girl, especially the woman, to go find a man, and to help with the income in the house. And sometimes they will do that to give them a little bit more help. And not saying that you didn't tell me whether she had any brothers or sisters or anything, but if it was me, I would come here first, find out if it's something that it would be worthwhile for you to uh, pursue. You know, and I know you said you've been talking to her for a year. I'm sure you know a lot about her, but that would really help if you would just do that. And that's my opinion about that. And then you make a decision, then bring it back to states. Now, you asked another question in there. I didn't answer. I'll just spend about this. You asked another question about how they would feel in the United States of America if you are 62 and you brought a 19-year-old into the States and to marry. Well, first things first, Americans, you know how Americans are. The first things they're going to say, welcome. That's a beautiful daughter you have there. I like your daughter. She's very pretty. That's the first thing that's going to happen. Second thing that's going to happen, you're going to get the naysayers and people talking about you, which you don't need to worry about any of that. You don't need to worry about a lot of that stuff. Don't worry what people say. it really doesn't matter what they say because they're not living in your life. If you're, I would say it's on you. Me, if I just say, for instance, if Ruth was 19, wouldn't bother me a bit. I'd do it if I would do it. No reason. We're going back there, and I got 20-year plus age gap difference. It's not gonna bother me a bit. The thing that people are gonna talk anyway, you know, whether if it's you're beautiful and she's beautiful and you guys are a wonderful couple, people are gonna talk no matter what anyway. So don't worry about that. I say don't worry about what they say. Don't worry about what people think because they're not paying your bills and they're not helping you along. So don't worry about that. So I say just do whatever you think is right in your heart. Go for it. Don't worry about it. That's the kind of person I am. All right. We got story number 2 here. This is another one from Australia. And as I do these stories, I get so many. And I asked everybody if I could do this. So they said, okay. They call me Pogo, Tom. I'm from Sydney. I am 70. And my fiance is 65. Congratulations to you guys. On my recent visit, I met her family. And everything went well. I met her at Starbucks. And that's how we actually met, was at Starbucks, having coffee. And she was actually there buying coffee. And so they met. So the question is, my question is here is the question. The kids are believing that I'm going to bring every one of them to Australia to live. There are 7 kids in the family and many, many grandkids. The wife, my girlfriend, never been married before. How do I handle the money? And how do I handle the current situation and the cost of things and what they expect? My personal opinion about that is I wouldn't be thinking too much about the kids. The kids can manage themselves. Kids can take care of themselves. She's 65, I'm sure kids are all of age now. They're all adults. And they're all probably making their own decisions and maybe living in the same house. I don't know. But I say don't worry about that. My personal opinion is I would go to Australia, bring your wife, and if you want to bring someone, you can, but I would not worry about the children. I let the children fend for themselves. If it's a situation where they need income or money like that, well, you can help them along the way. And what I mean along the way, don't support them. I help them along the way. You didn't tell me too much in depth about you, but you guys are not married, but you're going to get married. And Pogo, I say go for it. I say bring her to Australia. And as far as all the 7 kids and the grandchildren and the husbands and all that stuff, I would say only if you want to and only if you have enough money to do that. You can, of course, you can do anything you want, but my personal opinion, take care of yourself, take care of your wife, and if you want to bring a family member too, it's okay. But if you bring one, you'll have to bring all of them, and that would be 14 people. If 7 kids, right? Depending on who they are, some may be working somewhere else, or on a cruise, or somewhere. Some of them may have better jobs. You didn't go in detail there, but as what I understand, the way you approach me on this is, uh, and how it was written is, there are basically 7 kids staying there at home, and their sons or the family members all in one place there or close to you. So I would just worry about your wife, your girlfriend, and bring her there, and then you make an informed decision. And always think about it this way. You need to develop a relationship with your wife first before all the family already has got their hand out and or planning to bring to the States or wherever, or to Australia. I would develop my relationship with her first, and a year, 2 years down the road, 2 years possibly, I'd say 2 years down the road, if you decide to bring someone, I'm sure you're going to come back and forth, so she can see her kids and grandkids. So, Pogo, for me, I would say enjoy yourself, make a relationship with your girlfriend, and have a good relationship first before you start bringing anybody, because that sometimes can sour a relationship. Children can sour a relationship really fast. Some of the guys here, I do want to say this, and this has nothing to do with you, Pogo. Some of the guys here get into relationships when the wife may have two, three, four kids with another person, and there's nothing wrong with that. Uh, I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I'm saying that if she has children by another man or whatever, I say make sure that you understand what it's going to be for you to raise those one, two, three, four, five kids. There's one guy has seven, and make sure you realize that it's going to be a large, long road for them to get of age and or to help take care of themselves. So if you jump into that pile, I just in my mind imagine if you jumping in a pile, a big old pile of money, and that money is going to cost a lot of money. I mean, I thought long and hard before I made that decision because I knew that RR would be, she's 7, 8, and I knew I'd have her until, but it gets expensive. I mean, you'd be surprised. 10 here, 10 there, $100 here, $100 there. It gets expensive. And then hopefully there's no health issues, things like that. But if you're raising 5 or 3 or 2 or 7, I would make sure that they do that. I mean, guys say, well, I have problems, the kids. Well, you should. The thing of it is, before you marry someone with the kids that have the kids and you're coming here, instead of getting married, make sure you take the wife away for a year or 2 years if you can, away from the kids, but you can't, right? So you're jumping automatically into a relationship that already has children. That's a big thing. You have to really think about that. That's something that I don't foresee. I mean, you'd have to really think about, I'm going to go get in a relationship with someone that has 5 or 6 kids or 3 kids or 4 kids. Now, if there are, and I'm not meaning this negative, if they're of age, and what I mean of age, if they can help take care of themselves, and they can cook and they can clean and they can help around the house and they can do and take care of themselves, meaning that if they get up early in the morning, you're still sleeping, they can cook their own breakfast. I say fantastic. But if they're babies and 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, think about that because you'd be hauling babies around and changing diapers. And there are guys that got in themselves in a relationship with women that did that. Before I came to the Philippines, one of my co-workers was here, and that's exactly what happened to him. He found out he was raising a 2-year-old that she did not tell him about. And although they did eventually get married, uh, and he loves the child, it was just something that it just broke him apart for a while. He actually came back to the States, but they initiated the relationship and ended up being fine. And I understand that. I understand how things are, but make sure you think about that. Okay. Uh, money and cost. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully I answered that question. All right. Lastly, we have one here. Um, this guy's from Israel, and I'm going to say his name. I hope I pronounce it right. Carcelis, Carselis, Carcelis, from Israel, said he has a lady that he met here when he came here, uh, pre-COVID, so before COVID. They've been talking for this whole time. He wants to bring her there into Israel, but she does not want to go. She does not want to leave her mother and father. But I do need to convince her because my job is here and I cannot leave the Israel. She does not want to leave the Philippines. I am 42 and she is 22. So that must mean they met when she was 19 years old, something like that, or 20. We just get along great. There's not seem to be any jealousy or tempo, but I am very frustrated and I don't want things to creep up on me. Okay? And I'm very frustrated. Tell me what you think I should do. Well, I think you should do is this. First things first that I think is you need to take some vacation time and come back, or get some time alone with her. Find out exactly what her motive is. Talking on texting on a phone is not. It's really hard to do when you talk and text on a phone, and when you do that, you really don't get the true meaning of a relationship. And what I mean by that is I don't like talking and texting, and because someone can say something on a text, and it could be seeming anger, and it's not anger at all. They just typed it that way. And I've done that. Ruth and I had many problems with that when we first getting together and things. I said, "What do you mean?" And she says, "What do you mean? What do you mean making a statement like that?" And I said, "Well, I meant it this way." But she did not know exactly who I was as a person and what my thought was, you know. And so I say, come back here to the Philippines and stay as long as you can. If you can only take a week, take a week. If you take a month, take a month. If you take 2 months, take 2 months. But if you can only come and spend it only with her and figure out exactly. She's 22, she's young. You're 42, you're experienced in life. She's young in life. She doesn't even know a lot of things. You need to find out a lot of things. And I want to say this to the other guys too that I talked in this today is you need to find out if they actually know how to cook or clean or to help things along, or if there was a baby, do they know how to help take care of a baby? Of course, the love of having a baby is learning how to take care of the baby too, you know. But on the other hand, you don't want to be the only one that's taking care of the baby and things like that. You know, the guys I was telling with Pogo and the other guy, Morris. I think realistically, uh, I'm just going to say from Israel, uh, I would think come here, talk to her, sit down with her, and talk to the family, figure out exactly what she wants. If she's not, a lot of girls have not left the Philippines. A lot of girls have never been out of their own town. A lot of girls never left their own city. There are girls, honestly, that are 30 years old that still cannot cook or clean. They're always their mother or grandma or somebody always cooks and cleans, and they don't do anything but lay down, take naps, eat, take naps, watch TV. They might go to a birthday party of their cousins and brothers and all that, and aunts and uncles, but they really never left their town. So they're into the rut of never leaving, and they're afraid. We are a product of our environment in the end. If you raise a turkey inside the pen all the time, the turkey is going to want to be back in that pen. And that's the same thing about humans. Humans get used to that four walls, and they're hard for them to come out. And I would say take the time and uh, come here and talk to her. Says, why won't you want to leave, come to Israel with me? I can take care of you. I have a beautiful home here. You don't have to worry, you know. And according to what he said, that he had, makes good money. He would move here, but he does uh, product development for a software company, and there's internet. It's just so poor here. He said I would find myself not making any money because I can't do my job. And he says until they get the internet squared away, which I don't. He said I don't foresee them doing. Even up in Manila, they're having so many problems with it. He said so. I don't know. I would come here, talk to her, chit chat, and see how she feels. See if you can get her out of that. We have a neighbor that I know across the street that they sometimes will find that the girls don't cook. There's a 22-year-old in there that don't cook, and she's not cooked probably for her lifetime. And she finds a man who's going to be doing the cooking. If he's working out in the field making $3 a day, $4 a day as a farmhand or whatever, because that's where I live, is in the province. So 90% of the workers that are around here, where I'm at, are field workers, farmhands. Even if they work in town, it's not like it's a banking jobs or we're in a big city or metropolitan city. Even Valencia and Malaybalay, 80% of the workers there are either couriers or loan collectors or farm workers, farm hands, because we're surrounded by all the farms here. They have no choice but to do that. And $3, $5 a day, guy come home working 12 hours a day or even 10 hours a day, he's going to come home want to have some kind of food. So I just cannot imagine that's happening. But even you being a software developer and maybe you stay home all the time, you're going to want her to help take care of that and have food and things like that available for you and her. So I foresee that's a problem. That's a lot of the problem now with a lot of Americans coming. They expect their wives to cook and clean, and then they're finding out they don't cook and clean for themselves now. What makes them think they're going to clean for themselves in when they get together? These are hard questions you got to ask. I have a sheet. I will do a podcast on it. It's like 60 questions you need to ask your fiance, male and female. And you should answer these 60 questions each other. And she should ask you the same question. So, for example, if you ask a question of how do you feel about cooking and cleaning? It's simple questions. And then she would answer, then he would answer because he has to help too. It's not all dependent upon her. You want to help out. It's like I do. I may not cook and clean all the time, but I make sure the house is swept up and I do all the dishes. And from time to time, I do the laundry. I haven't done laundry now probably about 3 months, but before I was doing it every other week. But there are things that I do around here that helps out the family. And so you got to be prepared to do that and help out the family for that. I can tell you this, that uh, the ones that I personally know personally, if they had to cook or clean, the Philippines that I know that are in the group of my relationship that I know, I probably only about a third can cook and clean on a regular basis. Sure, they can boil rice, cook rice, but other than finding food, they cannot do that. So that's a lot of the problem a lot of guys are having with their Filipinas. The parents, what it is here, the parents raise the child, let the child do whatever they want to do when they want to do it, go to bed when they want to do, go anywhere they want to go. And there's little criteria on children being raised here. When I came into the fact with RR, I had to really put the foot down because who said you could go there? Well, I've always gone before. Well, no, you don't go anymore until you tell me you're going. How am I supposed to know and take care of you if you're going on a motorcycle somewhere? I don't know where you're going. She's 8 years old. And then they would do that. They would take off, and you don't know where they're at. Well, even though they may be safe, but I still need to know where they're at because I'm responsible for her. Even to this day, we have this argument. Tell me where you're going, when you're going to come back, or I'm going to give you a deadline when to come back. You're not coming back. And even now, I have deadline for RR. She goes to bed 8:30 at night. She hates it, but in the morning she's bright-eyed and ready to go to school, and no worries, no complaints. A lot of the kids here, cousins, go to bed at 8, 8, my foot. Go to bed anywhere from 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 a.m. And a couple of cousins go to bed at 3 a.m. because they're playing games all night and then they go to school. So it's like they let them do that. Uh, and if the Ruth sisters hear this, and they probably hear this on the podcast, they know how I feel automatically. You already know because I've already told them. You should not let your kids go to bed that late. You should take the phone away or deposits her phone at night. So she doesn't have that problem of losing her phone. I don't want her to have the sticky fingers and pick up the phone at 3 a.m. and talking to a classmate or to whomever. She's 14 now. And as you know, you still have to have your finger upon them. I mean, even all our computer gear, our laptops, and even our phones are all put in our room when we go to bed and we close the door because kids will tend to find a way and they will get up and grab that phone at 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. and be on the phone till 5 a.m. because this is a gadget society here. Facebook is number one in the world. Facebook here, and the thing that bothers me is they give a phone to a child here, 2 years, 3 years old, for them to play with, and then by 5 or 6, they have a phone in there. They're playing games. So when you take that phone away from them, you have no. They're going to go ballistic, and that's been a problem that most of the families are dealing with now. We don't have that problem with our because I started that early on. Now, I'm not saying we didn't go through rough patches. We went through some really rough patches. She's constantly crying and upset and everything else because she doesn't get her phone and she and this and that. And I said, listen, I'm not going to give you a phone to keep it up. And she didn't get a phone for 6 months. One time it was a year. And I taught her this is going to teach you. I don't care. But she would sneak and grab the sisters' phones and the cousins' phones and go beyond the phone. And I told all the sisters, all the cousins, do not let her have a phone. My responsibility is no phones for her. I don't care. And she's turned out fantastic. Even now to this day, she goes, deposits the phone. Computer time's limited. She wants to talk to friends. She talks to her friends. And she's actually okay with it. And she told me the other day, Daddy, I am glad I'm not as tied to the phone as I was, because I could tell my attitude was going bad and sour. And I said, yes, it was going really bad. You were talking back to mommy, daddy. You were giving mommy, daddy heartache. We asked you to do something. It was like pulling teeth. You come out of the bedroom 12 hours later, you're being on the phone. And I said, your attitude was just horrible. She goes, I know. And now, even even during the day, she has no school on Mondays and Tuesdays. They only go to school 3 days a week now here. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, uh, and she would come out of the room, and I'd say, okay, family daddy time. You need to deposit your phone. So many hours you're on the phone, deposit to me. And it actually helps her. It actually, believe it, she complains about it, but you know what? Overall, she says, it's okay. It's okay. She comes, gives me a hug, and we wake up every morning. She's happy. We give each other hugs. Good morning. I love you. The whole family does that. I just make it a rule. And before we go to bed, we say our prayers, and we do that so we make it a rule. Because one thing I've learned in my life, I've become wiser and I've become smarter. And I wish I did all the things that I'm doing now that I did before. I did not do all these things before, but the Philippines has taught me one thing. It's taught me some patience, and it's taught me to understand what life is about. It's not about all the money you have. It's not about all the things you have. It's about the family and the friends that you impacted in your life. And I've noticed that. And even to this day, if I meet somebody here, I'm going to leave them happier than when I first met them. One way or another, I'll make them smile or happier. Because even through all the turmoil, the calamities they go through here, Filipino culture is so accommodating, so nice. And sometimes even they get down and they get upset. And so I try to help them along, even if I have to, help them financially, money-wise, food. It's not that I help them financially. I help them with food. That's the number one thing that they need here is food, clothes, and slippers. I see so many kids that I know. When's the last time you had a haircut? Sir, I've never had a haircut. Who cut your hair, mommy? He says, yeah, with scissors that we use for cooking, scissors off the counter. And I said, okay, here's money. But next time I see you, I want to see you with a haircut. Yes, sir, yes, sir. And they go do it. They run to me and say, Daddy, look at my new haircut. I said, did you get candy or that extra money? Oh, yes, I got my ice cream. I said, okay, good, good. You need another haircut? You come Daddy Tom. Next time you come Daddy Tom, I'll give you money for haircut. And so when they need haircuts, they'll run to me. And now some are getting, because I've been here 7 years, they're getting up to age like 12 now, 14, you know what I'm saying? And now they're coming to me and big respect, big respect. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Mama Ruth, for the cake, and thank you, Daddy, for being here for us. But I know I'm getting off subject here, but I wanted to talk about that because I know that so many guys here that are coming here, and they want their ladies to be uh, like beautiful. They want them to be perfect, and they want all these wonderful things. They don't want a lady. They're looking for a model, right? And really, it's all what's in the heart. There's so many wonderful ladies that are 40, 30, and 45, and 50, and 55 that have a wonderful heart, and they maybe have age on them, but they're so wonderful, and they know how to take care of a man. They know how to take care of a man. There's two ladies here that I know. I want to take care. I want a Filipino or fine, but I want not for the money, just someone I can take care of. And uh, and that's nice. That makes it nice. I've been going on now 30 minutes, and I want to thank everybody for always watching my stream. I'll make a longer stream next time. I have quite a few of these. I should probably start making like it's probably 7, 8, 9 of these guys asking me questions and going over and doing a podcast about it because I get so many questions. I used to get a lot more questions, but it's during the COVID time. But now they're all starting to come to the Philippines. But I still get a lot of questions a day, anywhere, you know, 50 to 80 questions a day. A lot of them are simple questions that I just really can't put online, like where do I go get my visa extended? I'm here in the Philippines, which is the best taxi to get? I'm here in Manila now. I need to fly to Cebu. What's the best airlines or cheapest airlines? Lot of simple questions like that I get. And what's the best app to use to get airline tickets, things like that. And I'm there to help. A lot of it's Google, you can find on Google, but it's okay. I don't mind. I'm not doing anything else anyway, but doing videos and podcasts and helping where I can. So thank you guys for so much, and thank you for coming on today. Um, I have a couple of people on my screen, and thank you so much, uh, Daniel, and thank you so much, Daniel. And I'll see you guys next time on Tom and Ruth podcast. Wrong button again.